Okay guys, welcome to the Catfish Kitchen. We are doing a workshop video in the Catfish Kitchen today. This video is about this here cook stove that I've had now for a few months. Burned plenty of wood in it, and I'll give you my opinion on it. These would be easy to make, and I'll show you what I think is wrong with this one, even though it does burn very good. This one is built off of this idea. This is the Thai cook stove, the main one. There's many different versions. I actually did a video a few years ago on 5 different Thai cook stoves. This is actually in that video. This thing has hundreds and hundreds of hours on it. And I don't burn her like she's intended. I burn her hot most of the time. These things work awesome. For a Thai person around here anyway, they cook every meal on one of these, just about, you know. Grandma goes through one a year normally, on average. And this one is cracked. Normally they crack right here and this falls off, or the grate falls out of them. They burn out the grate. You can get replacement grates for them, but this thing's only, I think, 70 baht for the good one, and you can get cheaper ones that look the same for about 45. Trust me, go with the 70 baht one, although it's hard to tell them apart. As you can see, very similar in size. This here is a Freon bottle from the air conditioner guys, but you could make one of these out of a 20-pound propane tank. It would be bigger. You would be able to burn a bit bigger wood, and it would work really good. These things burn really nice. They're great for cooking on, barbecue on. If I'm barbecuing just enough for 2 of us, I use this guy. It's a lot quicker, a lot easier, and that's why it's in the Catfish Kitchen. Because, well, the one that I had here, the brown one, I gave away. Someone needed one night, so I gave it away. We do that around here. We'll look at this one. As you can see, you know, it's very simple. I've been asked probably dozens of times, especially on that 5 cook stove video that's got quite a few views, about where to buy these, especially in North America. There is an online store that sells Thai goods. I can't remember the name, and they sell one, and a few people have sent me the link, and it's a very good chance at least one of those people is the one that owns the company. They have one that they say it's the same as this. It's not. It's that one, but about 50% smaller, and it costs well over $100. These are great for you put charcoal in them and you simmer a pot, you know. A lot of the motorbike restaurants around here use these. This one's had a lot of use as well. They work really good, and it's in like a bucket, you know. These things weigh a ton. You can't ship those unless you're doing a container load or something like that, you know. Plus, they'd have to be crated up so they don't break. Be a lot to it. It'd be a very expensive proposition. Not something that I would ever be interested in. What else was I going to say? These come in many sizes. There's a little tiny one, and there's one that you nearly need 2 people to pick it up. They do come in many sizes. This is the common size. These are the ones you normally see the trucks going around the village selling. They're the popular one. This one here, I saw one the other day. It might have been on Facebook. It had a wire ring around here, and its design didn't have this to put a wok on. It looked cool. I don't think you need it because you could put a wok on this one. And it was quite a bit more expensive. I cannot remember what I paid for this. Although I know I said it in one of the previous videos when I first showed this a little while ago. Now, there's, for me, two problems with this. This fire pit here, this is the top. And you can see they cut grooves in here so they could push it together and set it in. It's not deep enough. You got a giant ash pan down here, and you don't need that. It would take a week of burning steady to fill that up. This needs to drop down at least 2 inches, I think. You see the distance between here, you know? Let's measure it, just for fun. 5 inches. This one here is not even 4, 3 3/4. Quite a bit of difference. You drop this down an inch, you make a big difference. You could drop it down 2 inches, and it would still work. And like I say, this is just pushed in, which is not easy to do. That's why they cut the slits in here in order to compress it, to get it to go in. Not easy. Not easy at all. What else is wrong? This here is too short. You see the difference? Your wood got to be a lot shorter. Maximum wood length in this one needs to be less than a foot. This one, 14 inches, you know? It all adds up. When you consider this part is the same, if you push the bottom down, then you would have this tongue, because this is just cut out from here, would be another inch longer. You make up the difference. What else? The holes in the grate is put in here with this thing. As you can see, this is for smashing concrete. It's got a lot of use, trust me. Unfortunately, it's actually a different shape than this one. But the holes are not big enough. It's maybe the same shape. The holes are not big enough. They're punched in, which is fine. Very sharp inside, but it'd be almost impossible for that to get you. You could drill them out. These holes, you know, 25% bigger makes a big difference. The ash stays in here. It doesn't fall through. So I would want at least some of these holes. If the ring in here, the holes were bigger, it would be a lot better. And then you get your hair through the outside ones. But the ash don't fall through, that's the problem. But for making one, I'll give you this thing. It's only 9-inch diameter. I don't know what a 20-pound propane bottle is for size. 9 1/4. You want this to be at least 5 inches deep from where your grate's gonna sit. And I go at least 12 across here. This works, but now I'm cutting all my wood shorter. Not a big deal, but the problem with this is if you put long wood on here, it burns off, then it flips out, you know? It's the same problem I had with the brown one that I gave away. That's why I didn't like it. Because the wood, if you're not watching it, the wood could flip right out. That's not cool. So by having this just an inch longer makes a difference. But that's all I would change on it. I put these holes bigger, at least half of them. Drop this down another inch, and I make this tongue an inch longer. Very, very simple to do. That's for sure. It's got 3 legs that are like handles. You see that? I'll put on here. And you see the tongue is just tack welded on there. And these here, it's just rebar bent and welded on both sides. You could do square ones, be easier. And then these same handles you use for feet, they use for handles here. You could make the feet out of anything. And these handles, you don't really need it if you're picking up this pot that's full of fire. probably shouldn't be. I don't think you should. This one don't have any handles. But the big bonus for this one, it weighs almost nothing. Right? This one, could barely get it off the counter. It's also full of ash. That don't matter much. As for burning, they burn basically the same, other than this one, well, old as ashes. There's also a cast aluminum version of this one, and it comes in different sizes, which is very light. It's a little weird looking. It does look like this. As soon as you see it, you know it, but it is a little bit weird looking. I've only ever seen it in a couple places. Maktahan was the first place I saw it. If they're any good or not, I don't know, but they are available like that in Thailand, and they're very light. So bonus. You see how well this thing's burned, you know? You can cook an entire meal with a handful of tree branches on one of these. And I've done it many times. I've done videos on it on my cooking channel, Catfish Kitchen. I've cooked so much food, mostly on this one and the brown one that I had before that here. Just with wood scraps, just with these branches. This is wood that I feed my rabbits. They eat all the leaves and the bark, and I get the wood. And you can cook anything. I cooked an entire pot of stew, super stew. I think it was soup, with tree bark. Just with tree bark, you know? It was delicious too. That was on the Catfish Kitchen. It doesn't take hardly anything. Like, this is as good as any of those very expensive rocket stoves that I've seen, you know? There are some very cheap rocket stoves as well, and they're cool. But this thing, these run just as efficient, burn almost anything in them. They're great for barbecues with charcoal. Great for cooking. If you use burn hardwood in here, you get a real nice bed of coals. Just as good as charcoal. You put a pot on here, a wok, a frying pan. The old cast iron frying pan works awesome on these things. I'm burning very, very fast burning wood here, and it's, you know, tiny little twigs really. So you can see how efficient and how good they burn, you know. The old Thai wood stove. In Thai they're called tao. Tao means turtle. At least this one is called tao. This one is a copy of a tao. One day I will get a video on how these are made. I think. Actually, I know a place that makes them. It's just a matter of being there at the right time and being allowed in, which I don't know if I am. We'll let that one burn out. Pretty cool, huh? And I lit the fire with this. This is off a coconut tree. Burns like old man's beard, if you've ever had old man's beard. From a spruce tree, I think, spruce. Anyway, that stuff is really good for lighting the fire. This is as well. Off a coconut tree. Okay guys, well that's it. Hopefully this helps somebody. See what I mean? You gotta keep pushing the wood in. If you're a little bit handy in the workshop, you could easily make this one out of a propane bottle. It would be a little bit bigger. And the only real thing I can tell you about doing it that way is put your pan in the middle. It needs to be about 2 inches below the center. There's the middle on this one, and the bottom is right even with the middle. Drop it down another 2 inches. Make this tongue, you know, at least 1 inch longer than this one, and you should be good. it'll burn. It'll burn wood, that's for sure. Make your holes in a grate about 3/4 of an inch. You could drill them out. You could punch them out, but they need to be a little bit bigger than this one. This one burns a lot better. Not taking anything away with this. I'm very happy with this. It weighs almost nothing. It's very portable compared to that other one where you need a forklift to carry it anywhere. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it.